And we're back, Overtime Live, Sportsbet Radio, coming at you live from the Gulf Coast. It is I.B. Young, your man, RDP is in the building. Good to be back. Welcome everyone to the show. I hope all y'all are doing well with this outbreak. Arthur, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Staying quarantined.
Stay quarantined, 6 feet.
Yeah, suit over, bro.
Hey, we had him closely monitored by our medical staff to make sure that he was cured of any type of risky conditions, make sure his fever was at the right level, so we shouldn't have any problems with that.
Solid. I'm healthier now than I was when this stuff came around.
Financially, so we're coming into the sports season. Normally this would be the highlight of the year with us getting ready for the NBA playoffs, NFL draft. Of course, wishing football was back, watching baseball while we wait for real sports to get in action. But for now, because of our circumstances, we're stuck with just the draft. We got the NFL draft coming up. So that's going to impact a lot of teams. A lot of teams are going to be making moves and trades, trying to adjust their rosters, put themselves in better positions to win the NFL championship.
Along with that, we got some big moves in the NFL, big trades, big swaps.
Big trades, big money being moved, big players being moved, you know. We'll start with who's staying and who's moving. You know, we got a lot of rumors out there. Odell Beckham's supposed to be finding a new home. Leonard Fournette guaranteed to be moving. Obviously, we've seen a lot of players move already.
Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley's made the move. He's made the jump. DeAndre Hopkins has made the jump.
David Johnson
has made the move.
Emmanuel
Sanders has found a home with the Saints. New Orleans Saints are welcoming him into their offense, which will be a good result.
I like that move.
It was a good move. They needed another wide receiver to complement Michael Thomas. Of course, they're still struggling in a lot of areas, but I think they're building up for a tough run this year in the NFC South. We got Phillip Rivers, I believe, is still a free agent. Todd Gurley's went on to the Atlanta Falcons. DeAndre Hopkins is looking to make the Arizona Cardinals competitors.
Not too, like I said, you know, it all starts with a good captain. Kyler Murray, not 200% convinced. I'm not saying he's complete garbage. He's still a young buck, a baby in the league. So it'll be interesting to watch.
Kyler Murray took down the offensive rookie of the year last year. So I guess apparently he's doing enough. Without David Johnson, with a lot of wide receiver prospects and a good coaching core, I guess people have high expectations for them. They're playing in a very tough division, though.
Well, you know what? And honestly, on that, I didn't really see too much of the Cardinals. Saw a couple of games, you know, but maybe I'll dive deeper into that, and maybe I'll change my mind.
Hey, you never know. The whole division looks interesting. Of course, you got Russell Wilson, who's obviously running that division. San Francisco 49ers have made some abrupt changes that might impact their chances of winning again, or at least going as deep as they've went. And then you have, you know, teams like Arizona Cardinals. I think they're far away from where they need to be. I think they got a lot of learning to do. You don't draft a rookie quarterback and expect him to win in his first year. So they're still trying to build a team. And it's going to take some time, but I think they're going to get it done. I think they're making the right moves. David Johnson was obviously injured, so you got to adjust to that. But at the same time,
anywhere David Johnson goes, he will be an asset.
He'll be a weapon. He's a great receiving running back. He's a great runner.
Just all around.
Great red zone running back. I'm surprised that they let him go for so cheap. There must be some underlying issues that we're not informed about.
I'm just surprised with that DeAndre Hopkins. I'm a huge fan of Deshaun Watson.
Very good quarterback.
That guy's a gunslinger. He can throw the ball 100 yards if he wanted to. But I really did that with his awareness and DeAndre Hopkins' precision.
And they connected all year. I don't know what.
Yeah.
There must have been a misunderstanding. Maybe it was financial, maybe not.
But they got Randall Cobb along with Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not a terrible trade.
Not a terrible trade.
I mean, DeAndre Hopkins is he's good, Bart.
You're right about that. So we're going to take a break and get a word from our sponsors. We're going to come back with the biggest trade or release of the year. We're going to come back and talk about Tom Brady going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So after a word from our sponsors, we'll be right back with you.
We don't talk no more, it's hard and I call you my lady. We don't fuck no more, it's hard and I'll call you my baby. But you wanna say this shit is over. Shorty, I thought we were getting closer. Not gonna let me know. I don't wanna do this shit sober. So I'm putting purple in the soda. And I'm getting thoughts and it's over. I'm about to call up bitches over. I'm about to have me a party. I'm about to have me a party. Fucking with a bad little shawty. I'm about to call up bitches over. Cause I don't wanna do this shit solo. I'm a couple in the morning. I'm a couple in the morning. Leading up in the morning. I'm leading up in the morning. I'ma put the purple in the soda. I ain't tryna do this shit sober. Looking for somebody that'll show. I really want you, but you're fucking someone else. You're fucking someone else. You're fucking someone else. You're fucking someone else. I do. Say, I'ma put the purple in.
And we're back, Overtime Live, Sportsbet Radio, coming at you live, Gulf Coast, talking about the football we don't have. All the sports
That we need.
All the sports we don't have, we need it. We got people betting on video games.
We got a draft coming up. We don't even like that.
We don't even know if it's going to be relevant.
Yeah.
There might not be football for another 2 years. Who knows? You know, I would imagine they're going to be one of the last ideas to open it back up.
But I may start a little backyard league. Holler at your boy.
Stay tuned for the No Pro League coming at you pretty soon here, man. We're going to be playing some 5-on-5 due to our 10-person limits. We're going to have NBA-style basketball, MLB-style softball, and a really high level of backyard golf. It's really amazing. So anyway, back in the professional aspect of it. The biggest trade, biggest relief, biggest move of the year so far. We saw six-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady leaving his home New England Patriots. Where's he going?
To the Buck.
He's made a nice, comfortable little nest at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers house, where it looks like he's favored to win 9 games or more this year.
He's good, no doubt.
He's joining a stacked team full of with a great wide receiver core.
You got Mike Evans, you got Godwin.
Godwin's there.
They're no slouches.
2 good running backs.
And a pretty good tight end core from what I remember.
Ronald Jones Jr. and Peyton Barber each had 6 rushing touchdowns last year. So I'm sure Jameis Winston's pretty mad about losing that job because he was poised to make some moves, man.
We knew it wasn't for the better when he stole the crabs.
Well, you know, when somebody has a 5,000-yard season with 30 interceptions, maybe they're in a great organization and they just don't have the skills for it. So it's all about skill set. So Chris Godwin, 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns last year. Mike Evans, 1,100, with 8 touchdowns. Didn't even finish the season. You know, missed multiple games at the end of the year. I'm expecting them to win the division. What do you think?
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Who dat?
Well, we all know who the wild card's going to be. We got the Falcons coming at the wild card, and sadly, the Saints are probably not going to make it this year. You know, they haven't made the right improvement. They haven't made any dramatic moves. The division's just gotten tougher. So,
I agree. The division's definitely going to be a lot tougher. And I'm not saying there are any gimmies, and I'm not being biased. If my team was just not there for the cut, I would say it. But I really like the addition of Emmanuel Sanders, and we got
very good wide receiver.
Malcolm Jenkins is also back. Hopefully, Traquan Smith will develop into that very good third option receiver. I think he's got the ability. He just I think a lot of it's nerves because he doesn't get in on a lot of plays. But maybe I think he just has a bad rap for stuff he can't control. He needs to be involved in more things. And I love Jared Cook will be there for the second year. He's a good, huge. He's really come around last year. He made some big plays for us. I mean, of course, the Saints, we've always been pretty good on offense. Is the defense going to show up?
Defense makes championships, apparently.
I agree.
We've watched the Saints the last few years go into the playoffs looking to win it all. Great records, great teams, and just can't get it done. Any given Sunday or Saturday in that case.
And we got rid of Eli Apple. That was
essential.
One of the best things we could do because he just didn't produce.
If you don't produce, you got to go.
That's it.
It's that easy. So who are you liking for your conference picks this upcoming year? We don't have a lot of information. We don't know if we're really going to have a league. But we'll start with the NFC North,
I'm going to go with the Pack.
Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is back. Aaron Jones is back. Devontae Adams is back.
And always one of my big fantasy picks, Devontae Adams.
Very good wide receiver.
He is very. I watched a lot of his, like his pregame warm up stuff, and he does have his special moves or what special powers, if you will, and he's got great hands.
What about the NFC East? Philly or Dallas?
Man, it's hard for me to give Dallas anything.
It's hard to do it. We saw with our interview with Jerry Jones, his mentality about the whole situation.
It was down to Philly and Dallas. I like Dak. I love Amari Cooper. He's done huge things, helped that team out tremendously over there. Hell, even Randall Cobb came back from out of the dirt. I mean, he was nothing over at Green Bay. Goes to Dallas, and then he's actually relevant. He was in on a lot of big catches.
He's about done with his career.
I like Gallup. I just, I don't know. And Zeke, of course. Zeke is great.
Zeke's there. Is he as good as everybody gives him credit for? NFC South, we're going to give it to the Saints, huh? Clearly, I'm taking the Falcons. What about the NFC West? It's a very tough division now.
Oh, I got to go Frisco.
San Fran. I love Arizona. I like the moves they've made. I like Kyler Murray. I'm going to take Russell Wilson, best quarterback left in the league right now. So let's go on to the AFC. We'll take the AFC North. Who are you giving?
And as much as I can't stand Baltimore, I got to say Baltimore.
Lamar Jackson, one of the best quarterbacks in that conference.
But he keeps farting around and running like he does.
It's not going to last long.
He's going to get popped.
He's going to get popped. That might end their season. If he's gone, they're gone.
Because he is very tricky. He's even hard to play on Madden.
What about in the East? Who you got? East is open now.
I got the Bucking Bills.
The Bucking Bills are looking like thrills. The Patriots are over. I don't know what their plans are as far as drafting a quarterback. On the roster, they got Jarrett Stidham and Cody Kessler. They own 3 third-round picks. Maybe they're going to spend one of those on a quarterback, but the Bills look like they got that division.
I'm liking them.
About that AFC South, that's wide open as well.
The Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans are coming in pretty heavy favorites, except for the Houston Texans, who've made enough trade moves and enough acquisitions in this offseason to really build themselves into a superpower. It's all about what Deshaun Watson can produce.
My faith's always been there with him. I think he's fast on his feet. He can run if he has to, and I think he's a precision passer.
That's right.
He's definitely top 5 in the NFL.
Definitely top 10 at least. Maybe not top 5, but definitely top 10. So last division.
Top 5.
Top 5? All right. He's got the rushing ability. How about that AFC West? Our Super Bowl champions are coming out of the West, Kansas City. Last year they had the benefit of playing in a horrible division with
Congratulations,
a lot of
KC.
failing quarterbacks. So it was pretty easy for Kansas City to get to the playoffs. But
I tell you what, that is the definition of never give up.
The most important thing was the quarterback play during the playoffs.
Right.
So
and when they were down, they came back. Like Patrick Mahomes, he is
Patrick Mahomes.
I love Patrick Mahomes. Love it.
So we'll jump into our future bets for the NFL. We're looking at Kansas City getting the 6-1. If you were looking to put in a bet right now, Baltimore 7-1, 49ers 9-1. Surprisingly, the Saints are 12-1. Tampa Bay is ahead of the Patriots, as I expected, at 16-1. Philly at 18-1, and Seattle at 20-1. Patriots are obviously at 20-1 as well. So we're going to take another break, get a couple words from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the UFC. So be sure to tune in.
My whole life, people have doubted me and told me I'm too fat to be athletic. This one's to all the haters.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Backbeat, the word on the street that the fire in your heart is out.
And we're back, Overtime Live, Sportsbet Radio. A lot of things are going on in the world today. People are trying to avoid the reality of what's really taking place. And one of the people who's trying to do that the most is UFC President Dana White. Dana White used to be one of my idols. I'm a big fan of the UFC and everything that he's done, his business plans and all the moves that he's made, but apparently Dana White just don't want to give it up. You know? UFC President Dana White is so committed to resuming operations in the midst of a global coronavirus pandemic, he secured a private island to host. What's he doing out there?
That's making big moves there.
What's he doing out there? I know the UFC's got the money to do that, but what is it? What are his plans?
I don't know. Maybe have some like Blanca Street Fighter type.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Killer Instinct
Fight to the death
type stuff. Yeah.
What are the rules on this island?
I don't know.
How much money? What are the taxes looking like? Do you have to? Can you be on drugs and fight on this island? Clearly, he's made it an apparent issue that he was concerned about his fighters being able to get into the U.S., which was the issue.
Like,
Dana White's going to go out here and rent this island where he can do whatever he wants. You think he's just going to limit it to UFC, or is he going to be doing some other things out there?
there's no telling if this actually goes in his favor, and it's actually as lucrative as he
Expects it to be.
intends it to be, then there's no telling.
He wouldn't be involved with it if it wasn't lucrative. He told ESPN Monday that he had secured the location in the U.S. to host the UFC 249 event on April 18th, which obviously just passed, which was headlined by the interim fight between Tony Ferguson and consisted of 12 overall fights. But he's saying that this location is going to host weekly fights for at least the next 2 months, which would not only give us something to bet on, but really give you some live entertainment if you're into the fighting business.
It's a lot more fun to watch with a fan base.
Yeah, than to just get beat
I
up
don't know
for free.
how many, whatever island this is, I don't know how many of
If it's an
those
island,
natives are gonna. Yeah, we don't know.
he might just Photoshop his mansion to look like an island and be and running the shit in his basement.
Who knows?
So on another note, we have a severe F up. That's what I call it. A professional NASCAR racer, Kyle Larson, decided to voice his opinion about something over an esport. He was racing electronically through a game simulation and decided to use the N-word, hard R, towards his I guess it was his teammate, but he didn't realize he was being recorded by the whole world. Word that out. How do you feel about something like this, as far as esports or even NASCAR or even in someone's personal life?
I mean, it's just something you don't do. It's disrespectful, and you know, I mean, at least if you want to be disrespectful, be more slick about it than to have your, you know, be a person of your stature, or you know, respected, not respected, whatever. But you are in the limelight, and to go run and say that in a public place or wherever. I mean, you know. But yeah, all in all, it's just disrespectful.
See, the problem was that Kyle Larson wasn't he didn't understand that he was in the limelight. I think he believed that he was discussing it with just his coworker. And I'm not one to ever talk down about freedom of speech. I feel like it's one of the most important things in this country. But you know, people who do care about freedom of speech, Chevrolet, McDonald's, Credit One Bank, Chip Ganassi Racing, he lost all of his endorsements over this mistake. So this just goes to show you the mindset that professional athletes are in. And we put them in that mind state by putting them up on a pedestal to where they forget that they're there for entertainment and that they're there to make money. So we're going to take another break, and after a word from our sponsors, we're going to be joined by a very special guest. A very special guest. One of the few sports that's still operating during the corona epidemic is horse racing. Horse racing is still up and going. I guess they figure they can limit it. And rumor has it he's a very informative, a very special guest. He's coming live from the turf, where he's still currently working. Hasn't decided to file for unemployment. So hopefully he can come in and give us some input on what it's like to work in those circumstances and why he hasn't filed for unemployment. And you know, we're going to be presenting him with a dose of our Overtime Live Coronatizer. Great hand sanitizer, peppermint flavored, also is a bug repellent. And we're going to let him take that back to Churchill Downs, where he is apparently working. It says here that he doesn't have much of a resume, but groundskeeper for Churchill Downs. So after a word from our sponsors, we'll get back to him. And we're back, Overtime Live Sportsbet Radio. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know these trying times are tough for a lot of people looking for employment, and a lot of services are out of business right now. But unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, they're still doing horse racing. If you want to do any sports betting on horse racing, they're still accepting it online. And we actually have a very special guest today. We have a very special guest from Churchill Downs. He's one of the trainers, I believe. He might be a jockey, but he might be a trainer. His paperwork says jockey, trainer, feeder. So we're gonna welcome him to the show right now, and he should be coming in shortly. Welcoming to the show, we have a Buell Ladner. Buell Ladner, thank you for being here. Come on into the show today. Thank you. How are you doing? Have a seat, Buell. Yeah, this seat's right here is for you, man.
There's the ice chest. Thought there was cold beer on the set.
We don't necessarily have alcohol on the set normally, but they said that you had a special request, but that wasn't, you know. So how are you doing today, Mr. Buell? I noticed that you're one of the trainers over at Churchill Downs. Yeah, so you've been dealing with the horses for a long time, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a beer.
A what?
I need a beer. Long day, you know.
A beer?
A beer. Well, then I got lots of answers for you.
Okay. So how is the coronavirus? Is this Corona?
It don't matter.
Okay, this is the Corona premiere. How's that coronavirus been? You still drink those, right? You know that that's not related to the outbreak.
Oh, hell, what? Coke?
Corona.
Coke. Corona. Oh, like
Can you read?
Yeah, they were talking about some COVID or something.
The COVID-19 outbreak. Yes, sir. That's why you're on the show.
Hell, I've been taking penicillin my whole life, man. It ain't nothing much.
Penicillin?
Yeah, I mean, hell, shit. But then I said, oh, well, it's not the same thing.
The COVID? The COVID-19?
Covidia or
Oh,
Is
chlamydia.
that what it is?
No, sir. This is the COVID-19 thing. Well, anyway. No,
Yeah,
sir. No,
but I mean, I'm not scared of that.
No, sir. Welcome to the show. You're here because we wanted to discuss with you about how the COVID-19 outbreak has been impacting your performance at work and your ability to find work. I know you're a horse trainer.
I'm in the candy paint, caddy with the candy rain, fatty little thick bitch, yeah. She think my name.
You still work at the Churchill Downs racetrack, right?
They wouldn't let me in the door, I pick the locks, game over. This is takeover. It's hard to stay sober, I'm blazed. Been paid for minimum wage. With some smoke like this, I got them trimming for days. I'm out here in the bay, back and forth to LA. Place your order if you're ready to shop. The little heat sealed 8 bags come in the box. Yeah, you gotta move me so I don't run in the spot. Got the whole world on lock.
What they do?
Still running your block. Checkmate, we still get it for the best rate. Yeah, they waiting for my next play. The good shit, the chest plate. Open up the mail.
This is
check gang. Everything candy.
So anyway,
no, but our main focus is, and mine especially, is keeping that track looking top notch.
okay. So you're a janitor at Churchill Downs. It says here you're
Well, yeah, I mean,
you're a horse trainer.
I have, a lot of people know me as the shitter getter and, plowing the fields and doing a lot of stuff I get made fun of. My job is very important.
You are Mule Ladner, correct?
Yes, I am.
Mule Ladner?
Yes, my motto.
You have a motto.
Yep.
Now, what's your motto, Mule?
Don't mind the mule, roll the wagon,
Alright. So, Mule, are you familiar with professional sports, or do you even participate in the sports betting?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my dealings are with horses and whatnot up at the track.
So, how was the COVID-19 been impacting your business?
Well, basically, I tell them, they pretty much, they can come, get them a coney dog or whatever, but they got to stay in their side-by-sides or pickups or whatever. But, I told them, I'll be glad to help them anyway. And, I'm always
So you're not training the horses anymore, or have you been demoted? Or?
Well, yeah, I talk to them, and it's really important that you just come up, and you stroke them, before each race, talk to them, and that's what they don't realize what I do. I mean, it has significance. I mean, I calm those animals down, and it's like we're one and the same.
Are you thinking about applying for the unemployment benefits?
Oh, I've been receiving unemployment for quite some time.
Okay. So you do work for Churchill Downs, or do you not work for them?
Well, this is actually not exactly Churchill Downs, but it is. I'm on my road to Churchill Downs. I mean, hey, I've had job offers all over. They want me to come. I mean, I just love animals, and heck, this new marina down here that we got,
Yeah.
They want me to come, because they can tell by the way animals and I interact that I can link to them in a way that not even their own kind can. And I'd like to get involved with some, I told them, hey, they know Neil Ladner, that's the man for the job, because I link.
Yeah, I've seen your website here. There's a lot of complaints as far as like your work performance. It says here like there was somebody complained about you being nude during a job, and another guy said that you left.
Well, I mean,
you left hair in his sink.
well,
So
first of all,
these are small things.
first of all, animals are in the nude all the time, and I just try to make them feel comfortable in their own surroundings.
Okay.
And I'll even throw a little bit of that fish butter on myself, and you know. And I think at one point somebody saw me, you know, toward my pelvic area,
Okay. Toward your pelvic.
smearing,
All right.
you know, touching
So,
myself. But hey, that was just because if they smell a human pelvis, they're going to be petrified.
Yes.
I mean, that didn't mean nothing by it.
Yes.
And
So-
somehow Pornhub happened to be left on my cell phone, sitting up there. And, you know, but it's not what you think. I mean, I'm all business. And it really made me uncomfortable the way they
Okay,
came
we
in.
just have a couple of quick questions for you before you leave the show. But thank you for showing up.
Absolutely.
But we want to talk to you about like some of your requests for the media. Like, what are some things that you would like the media to stop doing during this COVID-19 epidemic?
Well, I mean, first of all you talk about is the negative things.
That's right. It's the
All we
dark
hear
days
about-
ahead.
All we hear about is people dying.
The deadliest
and so
week
many-
ever.
This many more people have gotten the
They don't know.
COVIDia or whatever it's called. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Whatever this thing is that everybody's so scared of. I mean, hell, I've been through so much, nothing can scare me. But whatever they're scared of, you got to start focusing more on. I mean, tell us how many people have survived
Survival rate.
the virus.
Yeah.
All we hear about is death, death, death.
Well, they like to tell you additional stuff that can hurt you. They want to tell you that the water from the waves can hurt you, or they want to tell you that wearing your shoes can hurt you. What are you going to do? Not wear shoes? They said you can contract bacteria to your shoes. You wear
Yeah.
shoes?
I do. Mostly when I'm with the animals, I like to be in the flesh.
Completely flesh?
Man, oh, sorry.
What if you drop something?
Can I bum a cigarette?
Well, you just dropped something. Here. What about telling us additional stuff that can do to prevent the COVID-19 outbreak?
Well, first of all, I try to be as dirty as possible at all times.
That's why we practice that 6 feet.
You say sanitize,
You say romanticize.
I like where your head's at. Yeah.
Let me introduce you to a product. This is the Overtime Live Coronatizer. It's actually bug repellent.
Is that a Jello shot?
Drink that if you want. 75% alcohol, buddy. Don't play with it. High dollar stuff. So you keep that on you, man. You'll never have to worry about it. You know.
But look, see, and my horses, they don't like this is strong to them.
You'll burn them.
This is like gamma rays, like a nuclear power plant just blew up. They smell this, and they might start kicking and hollering, and then I got Corona, and then I got to worry about them too, you know.
Can't worry about your horses. What about like the media giving out more positive statistics and videos of people leaving the hospital instead of coming into the hospital?
I agree. Yeah, I mean, hell,
We all know that there's people in the hospital. That's why the hospital's there.
my aunt's 103, and she made it.
She made it through the corona, or she made
She
it
did.
to 103?
No, she made it to 103, and then at 103, she's an old bitch, boy. I bet probably she scared Corona away.
Corona ran from her, huh?
Yep.
Well,
Like a
instead of saying people died from coronavirus, how about going into detail about their underlying conditions?
yeah,
You know, like
yeah,
respiratory issues, lung issues, blood clots. You know, anything can cause death.
honestly, I really think that we're probably more on the road to recovery, and if we got the full message or full situation and actuality, that but this is why me and my horse Buckstart we got such a
The Buckstart you had?
boy. He's a horse. Me and him are on the same level. We talking.
I remember last time you were here.
He don't talk much, but he makes gestures, and I know he knows what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's just something. That's a bond we have.
I know.
But yeah. If they would start just not focusing so much on the negative, and focusing more on the positive and saying, look, everybody, I think we're more on the curve than we actually think we are. But that's how they make their money, is creating a story. And the more people that they have scared, and the more people that they can get to believe their story,
The more people to believe it.
yes.
Do you
The
realize that
ratings
the biggest issue with the economy and this coronavirus is the fact that the billionaires who are in control of most of our economy and most of our livelihood are willing to let us die by the millions before they lose millions of dollars? Did you ever think about that? Have you ever? How much money is in your bank account? Mules? You come on here, you drink my beer. I mean,
Well, I ain't got paid yet.
how much do I owe you for this?
Well, actually, I didn't come on here.
Prototype and solution.
I mean, yeah.
Go ahead.
I tell you what. You make a deal. You put this out. Churchill Downs.
You work at Churchill Downs or no?
Well,
I've already talked to
that's
my
dream
I already talked to
job.
my guys and they told me you don't work at
Well,
Churchill Downs.
that's my dream job.
Show me your Churchill Downs ID.
Show me your guy.
My nuts?
Now, no, your guy. Now you just coming off crazy now.
Come get this guy. Hey, come here. Come get this guy.
I mean, I have a very busy schedule. I was supposed to meet my drug dealer 30 minutes ago, but I'm here.
Alright, Mule, what I can do is I can arrange for you to be removed from the property and you're no longer going to be allowed to record here. Okay? So,
Look, I don't mind leaving, but can I have another beer before I leave?
I'll get you another beer. Your ass is out of here.
Baby girl, just wanna have fun with it. 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 Baby girl, just wanna have fun. Baby girl don't want no drama. She wanna have fun.
And you're here because of your job.
Well, I'm talking about